Emilio, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Okay. So if you are good, I'm also good. Today we are talking about something that the Attorney General said in his presser when he met the press yesterday. There were some conversations about Trica. The Attorney General made some statements because people have been saying, why can't we just do a swap deal like how we swap phones at KJT or Blue Light? Give us Ofori-Atta, then we give you Trica. I believe you've had those conversations. Even under the video we did on Monday, there's been a lot of talkability around it.
Yeah.
So today we want to basically break it down. The legal processes. If you say we are extraditing somebody who has committed a crime under the laws of you as a Ghanaian citizen, what is the process like?
People don't understand why the FBI can come into a sovereign country and arrest somebody.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, there are some treaties and agreements between these two countries that allows them to do that.
So basically, we'll be breaking down for you. We play exactly what the Attorney General said. So for us to get the background of why we are having this conversation, what the Attorney General said, let's listen to the Attorney General.
Principle of reciprocity applies, okay, and I would have been very happy to hand over Trica as I have done, okay, and then get Ofori-Atta quickly in return, all right. But usually the extradition proceedings take place in a court of competent jurisdiction. In our case, that is the district court, all right. In the US, it will also be the federal district court.
Yes, so that is Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayeni, who is the Attorney General Minister for Japan, basically saying that when someone is to be extradited, it's not as if that, Leo just makes the point, let's say Leo is FBI, just makes the point that, I need David to be extradited to the US and David is extradited. No, it goes through a legal process. Even in the US, when we want to extradite somebody who's also committed a crime on Ghanaian soil or the US soil to face justice in Ghana, that also goes through a certain process. So basically, this is Trica. I don't know what car is this. Is this?
This one is an i8 BMW i8.
Is it expensive?
Oh yeah. It's one of their top line
so
brands.
My Vits, how many of my Vits can this guy buy?
About 30 of them can buy one of this. But it's a beautiful car. I like the fact that it has butterfly doors, and this particular car has a feature where it doesn't matter how tall you are, you sit in and it just swallows you up.
Okay. Yeah. So Kofi Diakwa can even
ride this one. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's beautiful. So there's also about to for start of cash. I can see 200 cedis. I hope I meet him somewhere. Maybe we can give him just a bundle of the money for Christmas, So there's Trica. There's a picture when the Cyber Security Authority together with NACOC, that's the Narcotics Control Commission, the Ghana Cyber Security Authority, and the Yoko arrested him at a residence in Accra. And this is some friends. This is our Attorney General, Dr. Ayeni. Now let's go through the analysis, the breakdown. We are basically centering our argument because we've spoken to the lawyers, we've spoken to the experts. We are centering argument on these 4 treaties. Leo, what are these treaties?
Yeah, so the arrest is based on these particular 4 treaties, and one is the Extradition Treaty of 1931, the Mutual Legal Assistance Act of Act 807, and then the FATF, that's the Financial Transaction Task Force, and of course the Budapest Convention, which was signed in 2018 by Esla Usu when she was the Minister for.
So basically, we are going to analyze how does these 4 treaties relate to Trica. That is what you are going to break down. But how does these 4 treaties relate to Trica, and also the general conversation about extradition? Now let's go to, when you go through, as Leo said, the Extradition Act of 1931. This is predating Ghana's independence, right? Because our independence was on the 6th of March 1957. That was when the Supreme Court of Ghana, tweaked the laws, then Parliament to ratify the law. So when you go to the website of the Attorney General, or even Yoko, you find that there is the Extradition Act of 1960, that is Act 222. Now let me give you a bit of a context there. So Joel, let's do this. It said that Ghana's primary domestic law governing the extradition is Act 222 of 1960, which was designed to allow the surrender of fugitives to other countries where they are accused or convicted of crimes that will be offenses under Ghana's law. Now, there are various key points that we must know under this act. It says Ghana can only extradite if there is a legal arrangement, treaty, or reciprocal agreement with the requesting country. So the first question is, does Ghana have that with the US? Yes, it does.
And I think one point that we need to point out is that 1931 treaty was done during the colonial era, but after independence we didn't change it, we just continued. So it was originally signed between the British colonial government in America, but when we gained independence it was continued.
Now it goes further to say the person is a fugitive criminal if accused or convicted of an extradition crime in another country and present in Ghana. So it is not when the person has only been convicted. Even when you are accused, you can be extradited. Now it goes further to say that political offenses are not extraditable. Now let me explain. Some people believe that there may be some political crime. They will certainly just try and make up
witch hunting
and all that. So when it comes to political crime, it's a bit checked. That's why you see that Kenofrata's issue is a bit checked. But when it comes to Trica, it is a cyber crime, allegedly fraud and other activities.
And it is recognized as crime in both countries.
Now, when it comes to the US, there's no specific modern bilateral treaty against them. But as Lou said, we adopted the Extradition Treaty of 1931 and ratified it, and it came to be as the Act 222 as we have it now. Now, Joe, go forward a little bit. Now, when you come to the processes that they have to go through, when the US government suspects somebody of committing a crime which is an offense under their laws, what they do is that they will first have to contact the Ghanaian authorities through diplomatic channels, that is the Attorney General. Now what they have to do is that they have to present about three documents. One, they have to basically present the charge sheet. So when you read the statement from the Justice Ministry as we did on Monday, you notice that they indicated that a court of competent jurisdiction has indicted Freddie Kumi, aka Abu Trica. So first, the request must come from the US through the diplomatic channels. Then they must present the charges and evidence. Then they must present a copy of the arrest warrant or indictment.
And the proof that the offense is extraditable.
Exactly. So meaning that they have to go through a court to say that we are suspecting this Ghanaian national of doing this. And this is what they've done. This is the charge. And that this
That's the step one.
That's the step one. Then the court must also hear the evidence and say that, okay, based on this evidence, I believe that there's what they call, a prima facie determination of the evidence you provided, so you can go ahead. Then they must prove that the offense is extractable. So look, this is basically what the act talks about. It doesn't mean that when they come, you also hand them over. Under this act, what will happen is that this process will go through the Ghanaian authorities, they will effect the arrest as they've done in Abu Trica's case. Then the process will go through a district court, where the court will hear the evidence, will hear the defense of Abu Trica's lawyers, and therefore a determination of extradition will be made.
And people should note that it says the crime must be double criminality.
Yes.
So which means if cyber crime is not a crime in Ghana, it would have been difficult for the US to extradite him.
Exactly.
But in this case, it's a criminal offense in both countries.
In both countries. Now, another point, and that's a brilliant addition, because when you go through the treaties, you notice why that is very, very important. Now, just a bit of education. We know that we said that when it comes to political crimes, a bit checked, it is in the Act. And there's on our Facebook page. You can just Google it up. Act 222. There, Section 1B. If you can read it for me.
It says a fugitive criminal shall not be surrendered if the offense in respect of which his surrender is requested is one of a political character, or if it appears to be the court or the National Liberation Council that the requisition for his surrender has in fact been made with a view to try or punish him for an offense of a political character.
You see, during those times, because of the military junta regimes and all that, people felt that some of these things were being used to persecute people. That is why the Attorney General, if you play the long haul of that audio, you'd have heard him say that Ofori-Atta has hired top lawyers within the US. I was asking, but you're also a top lawyer, you're a doctor of law. Then that he's trying to find extradition because of how political nature.
So in this, if somebody like say in Burkina runs away from the Tuareg government and comes to Ghana and say we want the person to come back, based on this law we can say we cannot allow the person to go,
especially if the reason is deemed to be very political. And not criminal. Now, the second treaty we want to talk about because of time is Act 807. That talks about what Leo said. The second point, which is about the Mutual Legal Assistance Act. And we downloaded this from Yoko's website. Now, because of time, let me just give you a brief overview of it. So, Joe, you can go up a little bit for me. It was assented on the 5th of October 2010. Basically, what this seeks to do, let me read for it, says that subject to subsection 2, the provisions of this act apply to mutual legal assistance in respect of criminal matters under an agreement or other agreement between the Republic and a foreign state or a foreign entity. So meaning that based on this mutual assistance act, Ghana is enjoined to assist the arrest, prosecution of criminals who commit laws which under Ghana's laws are deemed to be criminal and under US laws are also deemed to be criminal. So this is also another act based on which Yoko, which is Ghana's body when it comes to organized crime, is enjoined to assist in such prosecution. Now, the next one we talk about is the FATF. as Leo mentioned, that is the
Financial Action Task Force.
Yes. So Leo, basically, this is also another framework which says that when it comes to coordinating on matters of money laundering, terrorist financing, as well as the financing of the proliferation of arms and distraction and all that, you are also enjoined to what? Collaborate. So meaning that on every score, it seems like Trica is really fighting against the wind.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about the FATF is if we do not comply, there is a punishment that Ghana will suffer. For example, they are going to put us on a grey list, and it's going to make it very difficult for us to make international transactions and all of that. The reason why companies like PayPal and all those financial transactional platforms is not working in Ghana is because we are not these things. Yeah.
Now, Leo, you remember on Monday when we analyzed the statement from the Justice Department? They said conspiracy to commit what? Money laundering and all that. Now, when you look at the FATF, the crimes that are under it, you can say that. If you can take me through quickly, they said that the FATF isn't a treaty, but it strongly influences how countries cooperate on what? Money laundering, terrorism financing, and what? Related crimes. And one of the indictments against Trica is what? Money laundering. So this act also falls under him. Now, the last treaty will give you a document. It's something that happened in 2019 under Madame Exradition, then the Minister for Communication. It happened in Budapest, in Hungary. You know, the capital of Hungary is Budapest. So if you are in a car today, at least you got something from us. Now, Leo, what is the Budapest Convention about, basically?
So the Budapest Convention is more than a legal document. It is a framework that permits hundreds of practitioners from parties to share experience and create relationships that facilitate cooperation in specific cases, including in emergency situations beyond the specific provisions foreseen in this convention. Any country may use may make use of the Budapest Convention as a guideline or a checklist or a model law. Furthermore, it's becoming a party to this treaty entails additional advantages, like
I'll show you one of the additional advantages. You know that this is Madame Esleusu, who is the immediate past Minister for Communication, and it says the headline is Ghana signs the Council of Europe's second additional protocol to the Convention on Cyber Crime, which is
the Budapest
Convention. Now, what is the Budapest Convention about? When Madame Ousu signed that, or Ghana ratified it in April 2019, and Madame Ousu signed it on Wednesday, June 28, 2003, they released a statement, and I want you to take us through the statement so that we know basically what the Budapest Convention is about.
Says Ghana took a significant step towards strengthening its cybersecurity infrastructure by signing the Council of Europe's second additional protocol to the Convention on Cybercrime, which aka Budapest Convention. Ghana ratified the Budapest Convention in April 2019 and is one of 6 African countries to do so. On Wednesday, June 28, 2023, the Honorable Minister for Communication and Digitalization, Mrs. Ursula Owusu Ekufo, signed the protocol on behalf of Ghana at the Council of Europe headquarters in Strasbourg, France. Ghana is the second African country following Mauritius to sign the protocol.
Now, in fact, we just didn't sign the protocol. After signing, if you read further for this story, you notice that we hosted the training of African countries when it comes to the use of the protocol in Ghana. So again, Ghana has committed itself to say that when it comes to cybercrime, we are one of the parties where we will not tolerate these things. In fact, when I went through the list of parties that have signed to this convention, the United States of America was one of them. Yeah. Now, Leo, let's wrap up in a few seconds. This is not the first time this process has happened. At least through the archives, you know that on Wednesday, August 26, 2020, a Ghanaian national, we remember a gentleman was arrested in Tamale for some of these charges. He was also extradited. Now, the story from the U.S. Attorney General's office read, Ghanaian citizen extradited in connection with prosecution of African-based cyber crime and business email compromise conspiracies. Now, this is the Ghana web story of the gentleman. He was also alleged to be involved in this money laundering activities and all that, and he was arrested. But Leo, this is something that I found in there. Listen. First of all, a grand jury had to sit and indict him before the process started. So it basically mimics what is currently happening to Trica. Yeah. Now, the last document we want to give you is this. And when I saw it, I was very, very sad. You take us through. 9
Ghanaians extradited to the U.S. this year for cyber crimes.
Yes.
From the American embassy.
So this is not the first time. Yeah. So basically, what we are saying is that Ghana is party to about 4 agreements that we'll be able to point out. We have the Act 222. Act 807, we have the Budapest Convention, and also the FATF agreement, which also enjoins us to collaborate with some of these countries when it comes to the fight against cybercrime. Abu Trica is currently in court. Per my sources, we are told that his lawyers are trying to fight the process. The government have also adduced the necessary evidence, collaborating with the FBI and all that. So in the coming days, we will know what exactly will happen. But this is the law, this is the history, this is the backstory, and this is the precedent. And this has been the breakdown. My name is Eugene Osetutu. I did this with Leo Stanley. We come on your radio again on Monday to give you more exciting conversations. Thank you.
Thank you.